Randy made a comment in chat today, and I made a topic out of it, and it's ridiculous.
This is United A-Holes, a video cast discussing cultural topics with no filter.
I had to talk to the audience for a second. I think that we're at the point where we can pretty much get at least 15 minutes out of anything. Absolutely anything at all. So this happened. No, seriously. So in chat today,
She's never complained to me once.
It's the Me Too era. They're responsible for their own orgasms now, so.
Derailed. Instantly.
You won't tell us what we're talking about? We'll make up our own shit.
and that proves my point right there, because we've already got almost a minute. So in chat today, I made the comment, do you want me to bring cookies? Because you mentioned that you had tea, the little tea for the
That's right,
for your machine. And I said, do you want me to bring cookies?
Somebody was sad because I didn't have any tea.
The immediate response, I wasn't sad you didn't have tea. I would have drank coffee. I appreciate it though, brother. I really do. So the immediate response from me saying, should I bring cookies? From Randy was, shit cookies. I don't want you to tell me what that means if it's in reference to anything. Just let me finish first.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there going, shit cookies? Shit cookies? What the fuck? What does he mean? And I'm like, it could be an obscure reference. It could be from something I haven't seen. And now I'm thinking, well, all right. And I don't even remember what I responded back. But immediately, the first thing I thought was, where would you get the shittiest cookies? Where could you get shit cookies? And then I look up poop emoji cookies, which are a thing.
I'm sure they are.
Yes, they are. No, seriously. And that was why I said I could do that next week, because I'm looking at it going, well, all I need is the proper dough, and I put it in the bag that you would use for, the perfect and just and cook them, and you'd have shit cookies. They would look like that little poop emoji. So I'm eating supper tonight, and I'm thinking, no, I gotta go find shit cookies. I gotta go find like shitty cookies type of.
Patty, I need real shit.
So I'm like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do we have any left over from my kit?
I sent that all to the government. I only sent what they asked for. So I'm like, the place to get shit cookies, I'm assuming, is.
Do they have nuts in them?
I went and got a bag of what I assume. Now, this is me. I went to the dollar store. Because I'm thinking, if there's going to be any place where you're going to get cookies that are like,
questionable cookies.
Man, I don't know. And I'm looking. Okay, so in all fairness to the dollar store, I looked for a long frickin' time because I'm like, no, those look delicious. Oh, that looks good. I'm like, what? Oh. And then I found... And I'm like, oh, that must be, oh shit, that doesn't count. I can't take that. It's a rice cake. It's about that thick. And it has milk chocolate over the top of it. But that's not a cookie. That's a rice cake. That doesn't count. I put it back on the shelf and I kept on looking. I'm like, this stuff really it kind of looks good. And I'm looking at it. It's a big package. And then I'm like, I'm going to get some licorice to have snack tonight. So I go down, I look at the candy. I'm in the same aisle. They turn around and come back. And just before I leave, I find these.
What are they?
They are Balco breakfast biscuits.
Cream and eggs.
Cream and eggs.
Oh, they're coming out too.
We're all trying a shit cookie.
Oh no, we're not. Oh, you gotta go in. No.
I bought beef jerky.
You can
from
spit
the
it
dollar
out.
store one
You don't need
time.
to swallow.
Was it bad?
Give me one.
It was awful. It
I'll
was
be the
like
guinea pig.
ketchup and cardboard.
Oh hell, give me
Beef
one.
jerky.
Seems I'm the source of this.
Oh, there's a residue
Actually,
already
no,
on my...
they smell great.
Do they?
Are they like Teddy Grahams or like?
Little animal crackers.
Are they? Well,
I
that's
like
a good
animal
one.
crackers.
That's a good one.
Did you put one back and take one out and smell?
I didn't like the smell of the first one.
Now we'll be talking with Cottonmouth for the rest of this episode.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm so well spoken without it.
Oh yeah. Here, Ryan, get it in India.
Yeah.
Drive her at India.
Oh, it's like sawdust. Like Elmer's glue or
An animal
something.
cracker.
Okay, so
Oh no. Animal crackers don't crumble like this.
all right. So
Oh,
I won't give them the shit rating.
I need a plate.
Okay, while you're eating your cookie, and I'm finishing mine, if you guys want to know the history of the shit cookie.
okay, I figured there had to be something, and I pictured you saying it this way: shit cookie.
Almost. Okay. It's not at all related to a baked good.
oh. I thought it was Tim Hortons After Hours.
No. It could be, but not in my reference. At a previous company that I worked at, a manufacturing facility, we had an engineering team. And on the engineering team, there was some pretty sarcastic individuals. I won't name them by name, but
They know who they are.
they know who they are. If they watch this, they'll know what I'm talking about. And we had, because I was IT admin, I'd taken a spare instance of a server and fired up an internal chat service, and we had it was Spark, actually, all jokes aside.
Really?
Yep. We fired up a Spark server, and we all had it running, and we could send little jokes back and forth. And if something bad was going down in the engineering department, I shouldn't say it wasn't directly related to an engineering or to a baking thing, but if something was going bad in the engineering department, the VP over engineering routinely would bring a food item in. It might be cake, it could be donuts, it could
Why?
be cookies, because he was trying to soften them up to tell them the bad news.
Your mother
And
and,
so
I
he
are getting a
thinks, like-
divorce.
No, like
Cookies
something like,
are going to do that?
you know that project that we'd scoped for 9 months for all the engineering work? Well, we're expecting it done in 3 months, kind of thing.
Here's a bag of Humpty Dumpty.
Exactly. So Tony, a friend of mine who worked in engineering, wait, I dropped a name. He's going to test the cat. Tony came up with the term that anytime that a item like that came up, it was called shit cookies. Because you're about to eat shit. And every once in a while, I'll be like, how's it day going, boys? It's going to be a bad one. Brian brought in shit cookies again.
All right, Tyrion, that's enough, buddy. You don't need to be wound for sound.
But that proves that they're safe to eat if a cat will eat it.
Oh, there you go.
But he'll eat anything.
I challenge you to put out a tub of margarine and see if that cat will eat it.
Why the tub of margarine?
You eat margarine, won't you?
Hey, oh, the old Ross test.
So Jamie, my relative,
Yeah.
mother-in-law, proved a thing to me. We went to a camp one time, and he said margarine is not safe to eat.
Oh, that old story, please.
But he made a point. We brought
Sure he did.
margarine and we brought butter to this camping trip.
And the cat ate the butter.
No cat involved.
Oh, no.
But
Who
we
ate the
left.
butter?
Where was the cat?
Who ate the butter?
Who was the butter?
Or was it smeared everywhere?
Well, you know.
Uh-huh.
So
I don't know. That's why I asked.
I'm trying to fucking tell you. You just listen.
We used to call my grandfather Big Fat Butter Eating Herbie. Isn't that funny?
Big fat butter eating Herbie.
Forbidden cookies.
The question is, what are you going to do with the rest of those egg and cream cookies?
I have a plan.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Returning to UA in the near future?
No, I hadn't thought about that.
Oh. We did this test. We left the margarine and the butter out. Obviously, the butter's going to go bad.
Yeah.
There were known rodents in around this camp because it wasn't sealed up perfect. It's a camp. Like
Badgers?
Badgers. Don't know, stinky badgers. 2 weeks later, we returned to said camp.
Mm-hmm.
Butter was gone. Just gone. You could see the greasy little footprints where the butter was sitting. The margarine was untouched. So now maybe it was one rodent who got really fucking full and couldn't get back to the
Maybe it
Margarine is the dessert.
maybe it was somebody on keto and said, "Hey, is that a stick of butter for free?" God,
People on keto cannot turn down free forest butter.
Anyhow,
just saying.
there were no bugs. There were no nothing like in this margarine. It was like untouched. Untouched. And I was like, okay, you got a point. You got a point there.
What does that mean that margarine is bad, though?
Well, I don't mean to say that, it's going to kill you or anything. But if animals that have access to
Animals are stupid, though.
I would agree.
If the ants won't eat it, I mean, fuck.
Please continue.
If the ants won't eat it,
Then fuck.
The science from Area 41. It's strong tonight, boys. It's strong tonight. Anyhow, that's the history of shit cookies. It's just a term used for any food item brought to a group of people to soften them up that you can drop bad news on them.
So then the term shit cookies, why did you use that term today? That popped into your head.
It just popped into my head. I was like,
when I said, "Do you want me to bring cookies?" Shit cookies, knowing that none of us were gonna know what you were talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's why I said forbidden cookies.
Listen,
that was a bad
I
rail.
almost threw up once with forbidden cookies.
That was a bad rail to go down.
No. For the viewing public,
Please enlighten them.
I was watching this comedian, and he was talking about small towns and everything, and he was talking about this one small town had a strip club, and there was one stripper, and she was like 80 years old, and she came out in a walker. She had a flannel nightgown on, and she threw it up and go, "Hey, look at these forbidden cookies," and that's where that came from.
When I heard shit cookies, I thought, and you probably know, like, I grew up in like rural Carleton County. I thought of they used to do a thing where you'd put money on a
cow pie bingo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, like a big chunk of cow pie.
A shit cookie.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for.
But can't you take shit and do something with it, like put it in the microwave or something like that?
Isn't it really good for starting fires, though? If it's
take all the bad out of it so you can actually eat it or something?
No.
Didn't I see that on a Griswold bear thing in the woods or whatever the fuck that guy's name
Ryan,
is?
doesn't your family literally
Grisbear or
eat shit?
Grisbar or Grisboo or the fuck? You know what I'm talking about.
You're being awfully quiet about this shit talk.
He's just observing.
I can't believe the company I keep.
You can dry it out and burn it. I know that there are countries that do that. They take manure and they dry it to the point.
But you know what I'm talking about.
It becomes fertilizer.
Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls. Thank you.
that-
Didn't he
yeah.
fucking eat his own shit in an episode or something like that?
He drank his own piss. And then that one, what was
Which is
that?
not recommended.
No, I read about it though.
Why
You
do
can
you
do it
drink
a
his
couple
own
times
piss?
before it's bad for you.
I guess you couldn't find any clean water, but there's ammonia in your urine. So.
Like, did he do the old put it in like a cup or something and drink it, or was he doing like the fountain going?
Yeah, he was doing the monkey.
Ryan, what do you...
How do you drink your piss?
No, I got nothing.
No, I got nothing. I have no.
With disdain.
You can.
I have
you
no
can
stories
also,
of eating shit or.
Here's what you can
shit
do though.
cookies
You can
or
shit in a jar, seal the jar, let it
And
ferment,
send it to the government.
huff it, and get super high.
What is that called?
It's called a jenkum, and it's super cool.
What?
Super cool.
No,
What?
no,
Smell
it
like
is
your
not
shit.
super
Yeah.
cool.
No, it's super fun.
It's a thing, though.
Okay, no, I'm not disputing that it's a thing. It is not super cool.
It's fucking hip.
Fucking hip, but not tragically hip.
Okay, so is it human shit? I have to ask.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
question.
Your own shit. It's
How
your
long-
own
how
shit.
long does it
It's
have
the
to- shit have to
cheapest
look
drug
like?
there is.
What does the
how long
shit
does
look
it-
like though? Like, would diarrhea work or no? Or does it
Diarrhea
have to be
is
like a loaf?
perfect.
Would it have to be like a perfect hue stink
Well,
loaf?
you're going for the
Tell you what, why don't you shit one jar of diarrhea, one jar of log, wait a couple weeks, take a hit off of
is
each of them on different nights, and you
2
come back
weeks?
with us with the answer.
I'm sure.
And it accumulates.
It's like wine.
You tell us
hey,
which high you get better.
I like where you're going with the jar concept because we could like open right next to Moonshine Creek, those boys, right? And we
We'll
could
call
like
it Area
don't mean to
41.
infringe on your territory.
We call it
but
shit shine? Like,
shit shine.
shit cookies. That's what it is.
Shit
Shit cookies. Smaller jars, so you can just get a quick huff. You
Honey, did you leave out
No,
the jar of
we
shit
label
and the
them-
shit cookies
we label
for
them
Santa?
on the food that produced them, rum chili, or
This one has been
You're onto something.
this one's been fermenting for 2 months, so it's the high test.
bananas and peanut butter.
Same group of engineers that helped design.
That's why they're like brown.
15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Okay.
I got it.
So
I'm not wrong.
one last little detail that I think you'll get a kick out of. This is, again, we're talking about making up products. The same group of engineers, over a series of lunch breaks over a brief period of time, came up with the idea that we read an article on the internet at that point in time that there was a trend going around of them dehydrating alcohol, and you could actually spoon feed and eat and get drunk off of this dehydrated alcohol product.
This goes perfectly with my Mars plan.
So we came up with the bright idea that wouldn't it be cool to mix the powderized alcohol with something that you could put in a tube similar to a toothpaste tube, and we call it tubaboos. Same group of engineers. And then they took it a step further. We were going to use the perfect paste. The perfect paste is to take hot dogs and just grind them to a fucking mush. Hot dog flavored tubaboos. And we were going to create a website and package it and sell hot dog flavored tubaboos. But the company went under before we could get it off the market.
But how?
When you get to the point that you can't say the word tubaboos, you're drunk.
It's good branding.
This has nothing to do with the topic. But I gotta tell you something. But I gotta tell you
Yes,
something.
there was. It's shit cookies.
But I gotta tell you something. I used,
Here it comes.
Condoms.
honest, I used in sentence today the word persnickety with a fucking customer.
Oh, Jesus. That's a good
You don't need that
audio. Good job.
And he was like, no, I can't get those headphones for the wife and everything because she likes this kind, everything. She doesn't like that kind. And I looked at him and went, well, she's awfully persnickety. And he fucking looked at me with this fucking blank look on his face. And I said, it means fussy.
Yeah.
How could
You
you
didn't
not
know
know that?
that?
Well, she seems like an annoying bitch.